Please, everybody talk into the mic as I didn't. I call to order the meeting of the Roselle Park Municipal Land Use Board, July 20th, 2015. Madam Clerk, please call the
Councilman Petrosky.
Here.
Warren Marks.
Here.
J. Alfredici.
Here.
John Stevens.
Here.
Glenn Costello.
Here.
John Kennedy.
Here.
J. Robina.
Robina here.
Paul Biomonte.
Here.
Jerry Vitale.
Here.
Owen Ungerman.
Here.
Reuben Shaw.
Please stand for the flag salute. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In case of a fire, please move in a calm, orderly manner to the nearest exits, which I'm pointing at now. Thank you. At this time, I'll accept a motion to approve the minutes of June 15th, 2015. Do I have a second?
Second.
That was Al, and it was Glenn. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries. At this time, I'll accept a motion for the public portion. So move. Second. Okay. All in favor? Aye. Just before anyone wishing to speak, please come forward and state your name and address. At this time, what we're going to start doing, starting in September, this will no longer take place. The public portion, we've checked all municipalities, all municipal lands within the area here in Union County. Nobody has it, and we still will have the public portion for any hearing. Okay, so this way it'll just speed up the particular meeting. So okay, so that's where we're going to go. It's starting in September. Just want to give it two month notice on it. That was all over there, I think. No, yeah, turn it up. There you go. It's up.
Saul Kears at 150 Berlin Street. The actual citation needed is the actual Open Public Meetings Act. The only meetings that require a public portion are the Board of Education and Town Council.
Thank you.
So, just waiting to see when you guys would catch up to that one.
Well, no, it was.
It finally did.
No, it wasn't on. It was our counselor who brought it up, and I asked him to investigate. And no, that's the actual act. The act requires there's only two places where public comment is required, but all meetings are required to be open to the public. But the only two that have a public comment portion are the Board of Education and a municipality, or any preceding governing body like the county, or so those are the only ones. It was fun while it lasted. With that, I guess an update on the Sullivan. I know it wasn't scheduled for this month nor next month. Correct.
Is it still scheduled for September?
As of right now, it is. We haven't got any notice. A letter was sent out to the gentleman, the owner of the properties, asking for a date, any Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday at 5:30 or after, either here or any location he wants to meet.
Oh, that's for the meeting for
the signs and landscaping, yes. Other than that, we have nothing. We haven't even heard that back from down yet. So,
just as a suggestion, in Roselle, and I apologize, but I'll get the. It's called. It has initials, but it's basically a set committee that has members of the board and professionals. That a lot of the questions that were asked during the meeting.
It's like a pre-meeting?
It is. It's like a committee, kind of, where, in other words, the committee talks, and it's professionals and businesses and members of the, and maybe you could call Roselle to find out what it's called. But what they do is they interact between, so when it comes to the planning board, a lot of it is basically memorializing a lot of what was agreed upon. And it allows for more questions, as opposed to a lot of the things that could have been handled in that kind of committee. That's just a suggestion.
We can consider that if we have a bigger project, like if Romanovsky goes, we can have something of that sort.
Okay.
Put a committee together. Sure. Thank you.
And since this will be probably the last, because as of yet, is there any scheduled for August? Will there be a meeting
Yes,
for
there's
August?
three meetings. There's three, as of right now.
Oh, okay.
We sent out letters for two, actually we sent out letters for three. As of tomorrow, we'll send out the letter for three, so we possibly have three.
Okay. Applications. And going back to a standing issue regarding the financial disclosure statements, I'd spoken with some members of the board and the attorney, and I went back to the state, and just to let you know, I know that Mr. Nietzsche told me that you filed your statement, and Mr. Jala, you said you filed your statement. The state responded to me officially that as far as they're concerned, you did not. So just letting you know that as far as the state's concerned, so perhaps you may want to seek legal counsel, and legal counsel may want to seek his legal counsel for the county, but the state, because I specifically gave those names of people, and I guess there's some members on the board here who may not have filed, and just maybe do so, unless you did. But
Well, I mean, overall, everybody was sent something.
Correct.
For it, and matter of fact, some of the emails that went back separately, not as a committee or not as a group, was stating how do we do it, how do we get into it, and we had had some conversation on how we, because we had to use last year's.
Correct.
And, where to find last year's, okay, but, okay.
all right.
If anybody has not, please do it, so.
And for those who have, the state has said you did not. So I just want to let you know that. So you may want to contact someone to find out where it is. And just for the new application, the modification of resolution 20213-005.
Right.
What is that one?
This is this is for the senior citizens on Webster.
Oh, it's a modification of, I guess, it's a modification.
It's a modification to the original plan.
From 75 to 60.
Right. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
Oh, one more thing. You may want to change your bylaws because the bylaws do state that there is a 3-minute public portion. So you may want to change that as well.
We couldn't find it, and I'll look again, but we couldn't.
Yeah.
It's in there? Okay.
So you may, because I'll come back in and say,
Okay.
your bylaws say so. But it's a 3 minutes to just have that amended or.
Okay.
Because then it'll be in line with the act. Because your bylaws say it, and then you have to say we no longer abide by that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak? Seeing none, I ask for motion to close.
Second.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Motion. John, John second. Okay. At this time, I'll ask the applicant, the architect, I'm assuming, is here for the resolution number 2013-005.
Yes.
Please step forward.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
I understand that you are here to ask for a modification to the original resolution?
Yes.
Okay. And will you explain to the board of what that,
Sure.
and the reason for it?
Yes, back in 2013, the board granted approval to Catholic Charities Homeless Corporation to construct 75 units in a 5-story building on the, basically the Public Works site adjacent to the ball fields. We made our application to the State Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency shortly after that, and we didn't get it. We went back in 2014, and because of the whole Sandy situation, Union County didn't get anything. And so now we're coming back again. And several months ago, John Westervelt, the CEO of Catholic Charities, went before the council to get an extension on our pilot payment in lieu of taxes, and that was granted. And now I'm before you. We've been told by the agency that they would rather see a building no more than 60 apartments rather than the 75. So very simply, we're taking floor off the building. Architecturally, the building will be the same as it was before, 1 story lower. The footprint stays the same, the parking stays the same, everything on our preliminary site plan approval, with the exception of the height, which will come down 10 feet, and the number of units will be the same. And so I've just brought a couple of little exhibits for you to look at. This is the elevation that we had presented several years ago, 5-story building. What we've changed now is, this is as a perspective, sorry, this is a 4-story building. Same exterior design, same features, same colors, same everything, 4 stories, 60 units. And that's what we're doing, very simply. Now, the agency has asked us to get an amended site plan approval. And I was hoping, and I'm not sure it's doable, if we look favorably on this tonight, if this could be memorialized. See, the applications are due Friday the 24th, 4 days from now. We didn't know that the agency wanted the amended site plan approval. We felt that we had an approval, we would decrease it in the number of units. We thought it wouldn't be a problem. The agency said, just to be on the safe side, because this is all based on points, just to be on the safe side, get the approval amended. And that's why, as soon as we found that out, which was in early June or mid-June, I wrote a letter and requested this basically administrative approval. And so, that's it. Let me answer the question. I can't say, excuse me, okay, I can't say without your approval, this evening, we can't submit. It's programmatic.
Let me ask the board members, do you have any questions?
Is it the same size as, I know there's a property, there was a property in Rawway on Hessenburg. Is that 4 stories as well, or is that?
4 story, the Broadway building is 4 stories, but it's 50 units. It's a smaller building, and it's a significantly smaller site. It's the same general. It's the same general design. That's Domus Catholic Charities has a they tend to do more on their buildings than a lot of people do. This is obviously a rental assistance building, but they don't want it to look that way, which is good.
Yeah, I've seen the property. I'm familiar with the property, and that's what I work
Yeah.
on. So.
Yeah, same type of building.
This is what, 60 unit?
60 unit.
This is 1275, right? That is 1 floor, right?
So it'll be 4 stories now.
The only question I have, Councilor, is how do we?
Well, sure. I spoke on the phone,
Yes.
and I thought we agreed to provide for memorialization tomorrow. The only reason, in the form of a letter, and to that, and with the understanding that, of course, any appeals of that can still take place within 45 days. So any memorialization that we create is only, documenting the fact that the board today, approved this with temporary. And I said I'd provide that for you tomorrow. I didn't want to come prematurely, and make a decision as to or a representation of what the board decided before the board decided it.
I'm fine.
So I should have it to you before noon.
Yeah,
I said Friday.
I'm okay with that.
I'll have it to you tomorrow.
That would be good.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll know what
Yeah.
the letter, once I ask the question here, I'll ask for a motion to accept or reject the revision to the original resolution 2013-005.
I move that we accept the
I'll second.
proposal.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Petrowski?
Yes.
Okay, Warren?
Yes.
J. Albert Ritchie?
Yes.
John Stevens?
Yes.
Ron Costello?
Yes.
John Kennedy?
Yes.
Jay Rubino?
Rubina.
Drum roll going too.
Yes.
Jerry White?
No, that's it. That's it. That's it. Okay, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Okay. We have no other business other than, if you have not done your training that is mandatory to do, please
get it done. I know an email was sent out, I guess last month and the month before, on the specific dates. So if we could get that done, and it would be easy to come down and register at Borough Hall, so this way they'll pay for it, and then you're registered, you don't have to put money out of your pocket. So we haven't done that. The other thing is, if you haven't done your financial, then we have to.
Financial disclosure, right? Yeah.
I was going to ask you if you had any more. Didn't mommy ever tell you to bring enough for everybody? It looks good, that's all.
So they say no one?
And I
Did-
did mine.
No.
I'll just say for the record, in response to speaker's statement, financial disclosures are documented in the prior year. And so I don't know, whether the speaker, when he discussed it with the state was documenting, or whether the state responded with the prior year's information or not. I know in my instance, for example, I did not work for Roselle Park in any capacity in the prior year. As such, when I filed my financial disclosure at the beginning of the year, I did so through the county of Union and for other entities that I am receiving compensation with. And so I did do that. Roselle Park is not, does not come into play for me until the following. I don't know everyone else's situation. I suggest we certainly look into it to make sure that that's the case.
I don't know how to check it out. I don't know. I mean, if you filled it out, you filled it out, right?
The receipt.
Okay, then that's fine. You got the receipt. That's good.
And I filed and I didn't work for the borough last year. That's the point.
So but whatever. But that's fine. No matter what, it doesn't.
Yes.
We can.
It's over.
Does anybody have anything for the board?
So, I mean, you're fine.
I'm fine, right?
3 people up there did not fine, according to this.
I'm fine, right?
You
Oh.
Okay.
All right. This is not what we need to go through here. If you got a receipt or whatever it might be, that's what it is. So, I know for a fact what happens, okay, is that if you haven't, a fine comes down to the borough. Simple. That's what happens. That's the worst that can happen, is that it comes down. And if it doesn't come down, then we don't worry about it. That's all it is. Simple as that. Next month, as of right now, we have 3. They're not big. They're not big. I need people here, okay? I know it's vacation, I know all of that. But we need people here. One of them, okay, is one resolution that we've approved, and we have to discuss that particular night. Okay, so we need you here.
Just to confirm the meeting's on 17th.
The meeting is on the 17th. Yes, August 17th. Okay, so. All right, if nothing else, I'll ask for a adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
What was that?